So here we are, Aberfoyle Flea Market, the magical, mystical Red Barn. This is Mother's Day. It's not as busy as usual, but still doesn't mean there's going to be some good stuff. As you know, I primarily look for audio, video, stuff like that. It can be hit and miss, but this place has a long history with me. I first went here in 1976 and been coming since. Anyway, let's see what we find. One thing that's really changed over the years with Aberfoyle, there's a couple new buildings, but they're mainly old buildings. The little red huts. There's more parking lot vendors than ever before. Like, it goes way down around the corner, around the back. This used to be a campground, like a tourist camp years ago. But as you can see, all kinds of stuff here. Vintage cameras, binoculars, tools, a gramophone. I don't know how the camera's going to react to the light here. We're stepping under a tent, oil lamps, another gramophone. Ooh, a knicker mat camera, 99 bucks. Might offer them 70 on that. That's one nice thing about Aberfoyle, is you can make offers on this stuff. There's no tax, and almost all the transactions are in cash, so you better have some cash with you. The odd dealer uses that, Apple Pay or one of those, but yeah, you never know what you're going to find. Vintage Remington 500 shaver, 8-track tapes, hats, stuff to put on your wall. If you look at the buildings around here, they are very vintage. In fact, last time I saw buildings like this was in the old Tucson, where they shoot cowboy movies. So these are more of the parking lot vendors. You see a lot of these box cameras and a lot of these Polaroids. The odd German 35mm. Interesting pottery. There's a tube radio over here. Yeah, check that out. Nice color. I think it used to be a little more green or a little more yellow. This place here is more like a trading post. The main reason I'm doing a bit of video here is just for photographic value. Nice colors. And you see there's lots more vendors back here. Look at that, we've got a couple turntables here. A Marantz and a Kenwood. Interesting. Hard to tell what shape they're in with the Elvis album on top. Yeah. Actually, those are pretty nice. Guitar. I'm just gonna see what he's asking for these. Well, another lonely multi-band radio. Hey, those two turntables that I just showed you, he wants $200 a piece for them. They're a little rough, the dust covers. To be honest, 80s era turntables don't get that kind of money, especially if you have to fix them. But they are kind of cool to find. You could probably get this radio for about $5 if you haggle. Some of the other stuff. I don't know if this is dead or alive. No, it's okay. And this is my favorite right here. Sausage, hot dogs, pulled pork, Pigalicious barbecue. It's really good stuff. You can sit outside, or there's some space inside. A really nice area to sit down and have a hot dog. Look at that nice pair of Paradigm speakers. I really like those. This is a great booth for vintage audio and vintage radios. Some more Paradigms. Some vintage DB Pluses, I remember those. There's a card. The restorations here are really excellent. The guy that runs this has been doing this for, I don't know, 50 years at least. Look at some of these cool radios. And I like the color changes. You know, you have a cabinet that needs painting. Why not make it interesting? This is a unique piece right here. That wood. Oh, look at that beauty. At Westinghouse, I have one of those. A 2-speaker. Oh, this is a nice piece here too. Does that look great? Top-notch restoration job. Some speakers, some root beer mugs. This part of Aberfoyle I sort of call the mystery woods. Somebody has to come here very early in the morning and put all this stuff out. Can you imagine? And have these nice old trees here, cedars. I don't know how well you can see this stuff. These little huts are kind of interesting. Not my kind of stuff, but I have to applaud whoever does this booth. This is really first rate. Going along here we have a playground. It's just unbelievable the stuff you can find here. So far I haven't bought anything. Sometimes you're in a buying mood and you're just finding everything that you want. Today I'm not sure. There's a couple I might go back on. They're kind of an interesting. The Grill of Grills. These are like old housekeeping cottages from when this was a tourist campground, you know, probably 100 years ago in the 30s. Lighthouse Antiques has been here forever. And once again, here's somebody who has to come here early, put all this stuff out, and you wouldn't be doing it for the money so much. It'd be more for the love of antiques. That's the owner right there. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm just shooting a video for YouTube.
Oh, wonderful.
And we're just talking about, I know you've been here a long time.
Over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, welcome. And,
thanks.
you know, Aberfoyle is the oldest and largest antique flea market in Canada.
Yes.
And it's been a very good place for us for over 30 years.
I've been coming here that long at least.
Yeah. And, you know, we have a lot of fun. One of the best things, though, is who we get to meet. So,
Yeah.
You know, hopefully people will discover us and come and join in. It's a lot of fun.
Well, your section here is memorable.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a heck of a compliment. Do you like my shark?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a gentleman came in, as happens from time to time, and said, "You like big fish?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I have one." I said, "What do you got?" He said, "I have a shark. It's 11 and a half feet long, and it turns 90 degrees at the end."
Wow.
And, I said, "How much?" And we made a deal.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Okay. This is one of the record sellers here at Aberfoyle. They've got good stuff. Good posters. They have the Blue Bin records. This is kind of my price range. Once in a while you find stuff in this bin that's really surprising. I actually bought a dual turntable from here. That is a really nice Philco. That is actually an amazing looking radio. That's kind of neat. Kind of from the end of the Tube era. I don't see a price on it. A guitar. A Black Dog. Let's look at some of the other records. Some record bins there. Some antiques. Like that chair. There's just so much stuff. I'm going to ask about that radio. Is this your booth?
Yes.
What are you asking for the Philco radio down there? The blue one.
I think it's 48, 45, 48.
I'm actually doing a YouTube video, but I'll keep you out of it.
Thank you. I think it's 45 or 48, something like that.
Okay.
Those two.
Okay. Would you go 40?
I'd have to ask my dad.
Okay, I'll wait for a sec then. So I dropped this Philco off in the car. He took $40 for it, which is good. This ear, kind of the end of the tube ear, aren't as popular, but that color, I'll take it apart, give it a good bath. It's actually kind of neat because it's actually an AM/FM radio. It's got something loose in it. But at $40, that's a reasonable gamble for something like this. And it doesn't take up too much room because sometimes your collecting room is pretty full. Anyway, back to the market. So we have more vinyl here. How many times do I see that one? Fame. What's the average price here? $10 each, 3 for $25. That's actually not bad. Thomas Dolby, Jane Sibley, Sticks. Kind of interesting. Some comic books. More records. Some Peter Rabbit books. Sealed. Ooh. I know somebody that would like that. Jewelry. This is actually a good record seller. They're pretty reasonable. And they have good copies. I don't know what you pay for records where you are. There's some gorilla passing through that mirror. There's all these little nooks and crannies here. Different collectible stuff. I'm doing a video, that's why I'm talking to myself. This is an interesting place over here. It's like it's kind of this garden by the Chat Noir. All kinds of little art displays. Chair. Everything's kind of covered with dust from the trees coming out. I know because at 3 in the morning I couldn't breathe. This guy over here, where you see kind of, it looks like an old blacksmith shop. He's got some fascinating old tools. Maybe I'll do a little bit of video over there when I get that way. Okay, look at these. Vintage repair manuals. Wow. That's pretty cool. These people have a lot of interesting bits and pieces. Oil lamp shades, insulators, all kinds of different hardware. Tetley T figures. Yeah, like just amazing. Just want to show you this one place up here. Hope the camera can capture this. All kinds of knobs and handles. Yeah, lots of them. There's a pair of Paragon speakers. Interesting. Look at this log cabin, my gosh. pulleys, wheels, fireplace screens, fenders. Check out this for tools and hardware. It goes on and on. Hubcaps, doorknobs. There's one spring I needed for a project one time. I had to dig through and they actually had it here. These are the kind of tools my grandfather used. Vintage chairs. Headlight bezels. Check this out for hardware. Yeah, this is quite a cellar. Over here, steering wheels, more tools. Wow. I'm curious what that is. There's another cafe over there. And more of the old original booths along here. We're almost ready to wrap it up and head home. It's been really interesting. I haven't spent too much money, thankfully.